Let's get straight into it. This bougainvillea tree, gone. This is the before. This video we're going to show you how a lawn is supposed to be installed. We see many shortcuts taking place and it's very unfortunate. Follow our steps to see how it should be done correctly. Okay, this is the topsoil specifically for lawns. See how it's nice and loose, makes the leveling a lot easier. Now, even though we're using the word leveling is not quite accurate. As you will see in the video later on. Anyway, we'll get to that point. Right now we're seeing Adam removing the growth, whatever growth we have. Now, if you watch this technique, the technique here is to remove all top growth. One of my pet peeves is seeing quote-unquote landscapers, some even do-it-yourselfers, cutting lawn in this fashion, where they're removing the lawn and exposing the dirt to sun and baking the soil. The only time the string should be touching the ground is when we're actually removing the top growth. So this technique he's using is not for trimming lawns, it is for removing the lawn. This is a very critically important, critically vital step of tilling the soil. Ask any farmer why they till the soil before they plant. A lot of folks miss out this vitally important step. The goal is to loosen the soil, which encourages water. It encourages oxygen to get down to the soil and makes it very easy for the roots to penetrate the soil to access those nutrients. You never want to plant lawn in rock, in concrete-like soil. You want it nice and loose. So what we're doing here is loosening up the soil, and then later on we'll place topsoil, nice loose topsoil to help, for lack of a better word, level it out. But we're not actually going to level the soil. We'll see shortly. Right, so we're about to put the topsoil. And what we want to do when we're placing topsoil, we want to think about what direction we want the water to flow if there's excess water. So we don't want the water to be pooling along the walls here. We want the water to be able to drain in the direction of the drain. So we're actually throwing the soil closer to the wall, and then we'll spread it out so it'll be thinner, closer to the drainage, and higher towards the wall. However, when we plant the lawn, you would not actually see this significant slope, this significant gradient. Right, so this technique we're using where we place the strips along the edges, couple reasons. For one, it's more aesthetically pleasing to do it that way. When you're doing landscaping is art. So even though we hope to get the lawn in a few months, while we're waiting, why shouldn't it look good? And plus, playing it that way, it reduces the chance of soil being washed away, soil erosion. So right now we're seeing the cleanup, the plugs in the middle and the strips on the edges. And this rainy season, it's a blessing for our plants, but tough on the cleanup part. So you're seeing the plugs in the middle. That will eventually spread away and get the full lawn in a couple months. And this is our secret sauce. Only for Broom's Lawn Care followers. Don't tell anyone. If you have questions, we have answers. The advice is free. Whether you're a client or not, you plan to be a client or not, it doesn't matter to us. Ask questions, we give answers. Take care, Broom's Lawn Care.